So let's talk a little bit about what getMember does. It is going to accept piped input, and it is going to tell you information about that piped input, such as the properties of the past objects and the methods of the past objects. It's going to make learning Windows PowerShell much easier. But talking about it does not really do a true justice to what getMember does. So let's jump into a demonstration by doing self-discovery with PowerShell using get command, get help, and getMember. We are going to open Windows PowerShell on DC1. With Windows PowerShell opened, let's start and let's do a get help on get command. We've done this previously in the lessons, but it's still a good practice to use this to remind yourself on how to use the commands. As we look through this, we can look through the different parameters that exist and see that there is a noun parameter. So let's do a get command on the noun parameter for service. On this noun parameter, we're going to see that there are different service commandlets that exist that we have talked about previously. So let's run a get service. We will see all of the services that exist on our Windows server. So we're going to take get service and then we're going to pipe it. Now keep in mind, to make that pipe character, you want to hold down the shift key and then press the key that is above enter with the vertical pipe character on it. And then we are going to pass this to a get-member. This is taking all of the objects that are returned from the first command and sending them to the second command, which is then going to tell us the different object types that we pass to it, along with the properties and methods on those objects. Now that we can see the methods and properties that exist, we can also see that there are alias properties. Let's take a look at this first alias property, and we will see that the definition for this is that the name alias property is equal to the service name property. So if we look down here, we will see that there is a service name property. So that means name and service name have the same value. The next thing we can do is see these different methods that exist on this command. So let's continue looking at the different commandlets that are available. The next one I want to take a look at is restart service. So let's get help on restart service. Now I want to look at the different parameters specifically to see if I can pipe values to it to restart a specific service. So we're going to provide the full help documentation on this. Now once we've provided the full help documentation, we want to make sure that we scroll up to the section that is titled Parameters. In this section, we can look at the different parameters that exist and if they accept pipeline input. The one we want to take a look at is going to be the name parameter. And we can see this name parameter is going to accept input by property name or by value. Now keep in mind, by value will be tried first. So let's do something like get-service, and we're going to return winrm. You will see that it returns just that single object. The next thing we want to do is take get-service winrm and pipe it to restart-service. And it has now restarted the service. Now this is replicating the same functionality of just typing restart service and providing that name, but instead this time we're actually checking to see what that object is first and then piping it to the restart service object. By checking it first, I do not mean that that's what we're doing in that single pipeline. I mean that that is what we are doing to run get-service and then restart the service.